Hello everyone, welcome back to the Talos Principle 2. Last time we did this new world and found a second laser. We got a blue laser going over to the mega structure, wherever the heck it is. And Melville... Has Melville unlocked a third location? I don't know yet. We have some more optional puzzles we could do here, some more things to find perhaps. I think they only show up on our compass if we've already found them. Unless they're question marks. Maybe question marks tell us of new things. There's, actually, there's a lot of new things. Let's go see if we can find something. There's a big explosion, it looks like. So I'm going to run this way until I find it. It's the statue, I think. 2478. Ooh, a meta puzzle. I love meta puzzles. Something about puzzle 2, 4, 7, and 8. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun going back to all these worlds. Again, this is a no spoiler playthrough. Don't tell me about any of the stuff. Don't even tell me if there's stuff. I mean, it's pretty obvious that there's something here to discover, but I have no idea what it is. And so if you do know what it is, or if you have theories, well, I don't know. There's some gray areas that don't count as spoilers. It's kind of hard to say. Is this hand one that I've already found? Have we found this one? Is this? Yeah, we found this one already. Okay. So as I run back to the transport... So yeah, last time we met Pandora, or a projection of Pandora, or something, and she kind of suggested, and we had this idea from the beginning, that... What is that? Okay, I'm distracted again. I'm gonna follow this. We had the idea from the beginning that Pandora was against Prometheus, although they could be working together to put on a show. Where is this? Where's it going? Where did it go? There was light in the sky. It went over here. It was looking at something. I don't understand. It's gone. Now that we've come over here, it's gone. I don't like that. Oh, there it is. Huh. There's a connector up here. It's connected to something. This is how I play open world games, guys. I get distracted and then I go. So it'll be interesting to see how this projection thing plays out. I am in the water. I'm gonna go over the bridge. It's really hard to see where that's aiming. Ah, it's so hard to see. Right above us, going to here or past here? I think it's going past. Yep, there it is. Continue on this way. Look up. It's getting closer to us. Now the ground is dipping, so... It's going to this connector. Alright. So, we can connect... probably through here. Yeah, there's a driller and a... something. We can definitely see up there. Here's the connector. We need red. We need... Well, I just want to connect something to it. I don't care what color it is. Let's open that up. And connect you here. You know, if I want to know... If I want to know what color I need it, maybe I should go to the other side. Maybe we need green. Maybe this is where we can see the other, that one green receptacle from. Oh, there's another connector up here. Okay, and it turns. And the laser itself is kind of hard to see. 2, 4, 7, 8. That came from 3, so that's not this puzzle. So, you're up here. What can we see from here? That one, maybe? This one? Let's hop over to here, and it's number 8. Can we see the blue? We can. So like, well, this would be an easy alt way to solve this puzzle. Where is it? There we are. Connect you there. And it looks like we cannot see the high. There we are. Alright. This is how you can solve this puzzle easy without actually solving it. Is there anything else that we can do with this, though? If we take this, interestingly, these doors are permanently open. So that might help us with meta puzzles. I'm starting to think this is not the puzzle we need that for, just because it's so easy to get. Also, what if like there's one of these walls way up on that tower somewhere? We precisely aim and then bore a hole like up there. Oh, this is the kind of thinking that solves this kind of puzzle. Let's try the other one. Here we have another puzzle. Where's the entrance? Right here. Duet. And there's no lasers or anything in this one, so I don't think this will be helpful. Said 2, 4, 7, 8, I think, on that pillar. Maybe that means there are secret meta puzzles in 2, 4, 7, and 8. Is there anywhere else we can see from here? Over here? Ah, there's a green target. Okay, so if we fire a green laser, then maybe we can see that. Where can we see that green target from? Can we see it from down there? Heck yeah, we can! Now the question is, can we actually shoot a green from over here? I suppose we probably can. We don't have a distributor, a recombiner. So either we shoot a green from in here, or hey, look, a green receptacle. That means there's a green source. I just happened to select the wrong one from the beginning. Red, blue. So green was the end. There's another. There is a combiner. Okay. So, yeah. Just beat this like normal. Take you, put you right here. It's not even hard. We don't have to use the other one. One, 2, and 3. Haha! We got a green laser going across. Oh, it is pretty cool and exciting to follow this laser all the way across the map. Yeah, I know we've already done it once, but this time it's green, which means this time it's right. So we need to find the line of sight that goes directly from this puzzle to the secret place we're aiming at. Alright, we don't need it to hook to there. No. Dang it. There we are. And now it's over here somewhere. Is it up there? Yeah. It made the winning sound. What is it? It's yellow particles. I got an achievement.
When the first man picked up the first stone, he did not do so to forge a tool. He did so to smite his brother.
That reminds me of 2001: A Space Odyssey, the
I think
long
that was more like a
intro.
recording. The entity didn't appear, and the system didn't react either.
I think so too.
Stars. Another reflection of the simulation.
So this was called a Pandora Tower, or Pandora Statue. I have to look at the achievement again. It popped up for just a moment. Did that signal anything on here? No, I don't think so. There's also this thing, which as far as I know is not anything. Is it like cracked a little more? I think it may just be nothing. We'll come back and figure out all of these puzzles sometime. Wait, is this... What's this? Is this new? A second lab?
This is very similar to the structure where you found the schematics.
Oh, am I going to be able to find World 3 after coming here? I thought
that's a lot bigger than I expected.
I thought I remembered
What were
not
they doing here?
hearing
And
Melville
who are they?
talk about unlocking a new area. Okay, we're lasering this and it's coming out a different color. Coming in blue, going out red. Going in red, coming out blue. An RB converter. What happens if you hit it with green though? Cannot select anything except Stratton ideas to begin with. The Origins of Thought, a fragment from Stratton's On the Origins of Thought, is quoted by a commentary by Simplicus of Cilicia. To say that material things are brought into being by ideas is to flatter ourselves, which is an error philosophers are particularly prone to do, because it raises those who think above those who do. Nicomachus, then what is the truth that does not flatter? That the reverse is true. Ideas are brought into being by matter, and so each man's ideas are shaped by the world that surrounds him, as clay is shaped by its mold. Those who live in mountains fear cold, those who live in deserts fear thirst. The Athenians are shaped by Athens, and the Lacedaemonians by Sparta. And likewise it is for all peoples. But may ideas, if we take each man to be an idea, not by deliberate action alter the shape of the mold, as you put it? To discover a method for accomplishing this is the chief purpose of philosophy, my friend. Footnotes. The newly discovered Heraclean manuscript, likely a lost part of Baroque collection, contains an additional passage that differentiates between pneuma, invisible mind or spirit described as an energy arising from matter, and ideas, which are produced by pneuma as it interacts with the material world. Philosophy is useless if it offers no way of changing things. At least Stratton tried and didn't lie to himself. I don't know why I gave that voice. That's actually although it's kind of rude, it is kind of something that I somewhat agree with. But how can we change the shape of the mold? Stratton never says. Perhaps by demonstrating the fact that other shapes are possible. We can't change it all ourselves, but perhaps we could, like Alexander Drennan, create the conditions for change. It is pretty obvious that, at least after evolution in the human world, that there's a back and forth. You know, we shape the environment shapes us, and it continues in a cycle. Progress notes. Reversion to previous settings fixes malfunction. What was the error? Cooling systems improved. I don't think there's any interesting in here. Okay. There's iterations on... Okay, so this is applying the iteration idea to engineering, which is just something that happens in engineering. Which might be something that the robots forgot. Like, they don't realize they can do iteration in engineering. We're getting a lot of percent. Did I just crash? I think it crashed.
The world is a wonderful place. Every day we take another step forward. Every day we come closer to the truth. The closer we get, the more I can see the beauty of the universe, the intricate perfection of its mechanisms. I am a machine, and the universe is a machine. Every part of me serves a purpose, or I could not be myself. I could not be Miranda, because that specific person could not exist without those specific parts and their specific functions. In the same way, every part of the universe serves a purpose. I think that is what we were meant to discover here.
"1K, you just connected to an extremely powerful data stream. Are you all right?"
I'm fine. I think I had a vision that was disconcerting. Oh, let's bring it up.
"Yes, you were streaming. We all saw something.
Oh, nice.
You're lucky it didn't fry your motherboard. Please,
We have
everyone,
motherboards?
let's be careful with these terminals from now on."
Yes, let's all try not to die. More importantly, who the hell is Miranda?
There's no one by that name in New Jerusalem. I just searched the database.
Could be one of the people who built this place. Maybe it's a nickname. Yeah, I was thinking it's probably, Miranda is another Greek myth name, so it could be one of the people who built this place.
A new person? Someone we've never heard of before? Someone born outside the city? We have to find out more.
But where did they come from? And how many people does it take to build something this huge?
Like I said, we need to find out more.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that I'm about to fix another part of the transport system.
All right, here we go.
Thanks for the files, 1K. I hope they didn't fry your brain.
So that was mandatory progression. There might be more to explore here, but it might just be environment. Oh, there is something more. Okay. So one thing that I haven't said, but I've thought about it a couple times, is I wonder if Byron is actually part of whatever's out here. Because, aside from the difficulties of getting away from the city, he is very, very much like a let's get out and do more things type of guy. He could just be that. He could just be a guy who lives in the city and wants to be more. Or he could be secretly, actively doing things outside. We'll find out. Saint Edwald identified the tetramino with the tetragrammation of the Greek word for God, because to him, the mathematical properties of the tetramino reflected God's ability to reshape the world without breaking its laws. Elohim, in his desire to impose meaning on the simulation, which was his primary function as a storyteller after all, took Edwald's heretical ideas and integrated them as sigils of his name. But despite all these layers of obfuscation, there is some kind of truth hidden in all this. The world really is, in a sense, made up of minute parts that can be combined and recombined without breaking the underlying laws. Everything that exists is made of some fundamental materials, and those materials are brought into existence by the same fundamental functions of reality. And yet the miracle of existence is that we are not all one, but are in fact radically different and separate. So the fundamental materials being the particles of the standard model, like electrons and quarks, which make up protons, and others. And then I don't want to say, we talk about physical laws, and we write them as equations. but that's not entirely correct. It's more just like descriptions of the geometry of how it works. Yeah, so I haven't really thought of good ways to describe it yet, but you know, the concept of a physical law being a rule that's kind of arbitrary that a lot of people have of scientific laws is not correct. Physical laws are descriptions of just what happens and how it works. And also, St. Edwald is another person that I looked up who also is apparently made up for this game, which makes me sad. New Alexandria, from the Book of Reminiscence and Regret by Eustathius, number 2. In the early days of our people, a great deal of responsibility fell on my shoulders. There were few of us then, and though we were stronger and hardier than any human, we were not invincible. The world was an overgrown ruin, and our resources extremely limited. It was a harsh time, but I felt passionate about the work, fired up by the many sacrifices that has brought us here, from the Ian team to the people of Gehenna, whose code was part of my personality. Bit by bit, New Jerusalem grew. We had to adapt some of the plans Drennan's team left behind. I don't think they had expected the simulation to take as long as it did, but it was all working. That's when I made a terrible mistake. Thinking it was a way of safeguarding against disaster, I proposed the creation of a second settlement, New Alexandria, as the location was far from the dam that powers New Jerusalem. I attempted to build a thermal power station that would take advantage of a local gas reservoir. However, I foolishly used geologic data from the archive, failing to account for the amount of time that had elapsed. 5 years later, this error led to an accident that leveled the settlement and killed 31 of my fellow citizens. Of all my many regrets, this is the greatest. Oh. Okay. So that's an event in history that probably shaped the way that our current selves think about New Jerusalem and what we should do. Eustathius never forgave himself for this mistake. He drifted away, isolated himself from everyone in New Jerusalem. But was it really his fault? Yes, he made a mistake, but why was the entire weight of the New Alexandria colony placed on his shoulders? A simple process of review and discussion could have prevented the entire disaster. Doesn't that mean New Jerusalem as a whole is at fault? He did his best, I feel sorry for him, but the dead remain dead and that has to be faced. Okay, ethics of extinction. That sounds like something that we read in another game. Was it the first Talos Principle? If a species we consider beautiful and remarkable goes extinct, we consider that a great evil. Dolphins, for example. If dolphins go extinct, that's a great loss. If humanity causes dolphins to go extinct, that's a crime. But if Yersinia pestis, the bacterium that causes bubonic plague, goes extinct, is that an equally great loss? If not, why not? To nature, there's no difference. It's all just life forms. The only moral framework that allows us to choose between dolphins and the plague is a human one. What about a species going extinct without anthropogenic factors? Extinction is the norm. If one day dolphins are no longer capable of competing with other species, should we let them go extinct? When the sun finally dies and all life goes extinct, will that be a tragedy? If we can prevent it, should we? If you believe that extinction is acceptable when nature does it but not when we do it, then you don't actually oppose extinction. You don't believe that dolphins are inherently valuable, that they deserve to live and thrive. You just oppose human control. You oppose our ability and responsibility to choose. Okay, cool. It sounds like you're arguing against somebody. I don't know who that is. I don't have particularly strong feelings on that. You know, my feelings on extinction are kind of along the lines of Outer Wilds. You know, I'm not going to spoil the game, but there's sort of a message about life and death and mortality in that game, which I find very enlightening, comforting. I don't know if those are the correct words, but they're along my views. Alright, we found some more stuff here. There's definitely more to find, as we can tell by the things that are still lit up. There's also... I'm lost. There is also something else. Stuff from World 1 to find. But for now, I'm going to move on to World 3. Hey, this is another Pandora statue. No, this is a Sphinx statue. Maybe there's a statue of each of the three in each of the worlds? We don't know who the third one is, though. Where am I even going? I'm trying to find the way back. Alright, let's go! I'm heading to World 3. There's something pinging here. Does that mean... that probably means that's where we are now.
After 1K found those labs, I started thinking, where did all the tech come from? So I had a look at the serial numbers, and it turns out the answer is New Alexandria.
Oh.
Wow, I guess that makes sense. After the explosion, the colony was abandoned. Nobody ever went back for all that stuff.
We had enough to deal with. So many dead.
So that's one question answered. But how did they go from scavenged Alexandria tech to all this?
How did we go from nothing to where we are now? Through the application of reason and the right tools.
And vision. Reason and tools will get you nowhere if you don't have a place to go. Also, look at that! That doesn't look like a laser shoot thing. Or maybe it does. I guess it does. Looks like a giant virus.
Look at the size of that structure.
How does the material support so much weight? Is it the same stuff as the other buildings?
Yeah. I know it looks like some type of concrete, but the molecular structure is completely different. Whatever it is, it's a lot stronger and less brittle.
Are the labs made out of the same material?
No, that's just ordinary concrete. Although, it does have some molecular weirdness going on, too. Too little variation in the grain.
So whatever these particles are constructing, it's like concrete, basically, but it's stronger. Is there... Okay, so was it Byron who said that these things aren't strictly functional? I'm looking up here and I'm like, what are these things for? But maybe they're not for anything. Maybe it's just supposed to look like a giant virus. Hey, look, a puzzle. I don't know which one it is, but let's go in. Inversion. Oh, hey. This must be... it's called an inverter, so I can connect it to the blue one. And the end is over here. I need to connect it to the other one. Blue to red. Then we get a second one. So, what we gotta do is red to blue. And I think there's another red one on the other side. So we take this. Music is still loud. I'm gonna see if... Is my settings still the same? Video settings still 100 field of view? Cool. I guess the music in this area is just excessively loud. Hey look, a triangle! And another triangle. Wonder if those are gonna be part of some meta puzzle.
I've managed to extract an audio file from 1K's data stream incident. It's hard to be sure because it's just a fragment, but I think it's some kind of log or diary.
We finished a new lab today. Some processes are still harder than others, but energy output was up 2,000%. It's incredible how each leap forward enables another. The next iteration of the machine will...
So
They're
as we
doing
suspected,
science.
Someone was experimenting here, but experimenting on what? What was this machine they were building?
Maybe it's whatever powers the megastructure.
maybe they were building the particle clouds. You got to invent those before they can exist, right? Alright, which one was that? It was number 1. That's so boring. Oh, I like the lighting of this place. Probably get a good thumbnail for this. Probably not that thing. Although it is pretty early in the game still, so maybe it wouldn't count as a spoiler. Maybe this thing? Is it someone to talk to?
Whether it is true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein, within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver, and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man? He moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, had wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If then a machine may have all the properties of a man, and act as a man while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics. Yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood.
I was gonna say, I was pretty sure I've heard this exact wording before. From the first game. I remember that last line from the first game. Yeah, we don't want to go swimming. There's nothing to find out here, is there? Maybe an Easter egg at the very most. But it does look nice. Now, the difficulty, I might have said this in a different episode, but the difficulty with calling a person a machine is that not only are we talking about physical material, but there's symbolic and metaphorical connotations of machine as something to be used. And so, even if materially we're not that different from machines, you know, we can talk about all we're made of the same stuff as machines, and our bodies work in the same ways as machines. But that doesn't mean we are machines, because we're not necessarily intended. Our purpose is not necessarily to be used for someone else's purpose, which machines are. Some more text. Founding 3. From Hypatia's Journals, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem. Day 42, we broke ground on the first permanent structures today, a large hall that will eventually be converted into a performance exhibition space. My idea, although for now we'll use it as a workshop. It's strange, this place. There's a lot of open space, and I didn't think I would find it so unusual. But I suppose we all spent more time at the dam than was originally planned, and now it's difficult to get used to not having that low ceiling over our heads. It's probably just me. Byron loves being outside and is always volunteering for scavenging missions. We don't know Hypatia's number. Leif Thrasir usually tacks along, although he seems more fascinated with observing nature and various weird creatures. At night I sometimes catch myself standing by the door, not because I have guard duty, just watching the stars. It's oddly comforting to think that they've always been there. That they watched our ancestors standing where I now stand. That is pretty cool. Oh man, sometimes you just think about looking up at the stars and how everyone, not necessarily everyone, but people from all over the world and all across time looked up at the same stars. From Miranda.
We finished setting up the external side of the lake. The area is so stunning we forgot about the experiment for a while and went for a long walk. The ways in which all the different aspects of nature interact with each other are endlessly fascinating to me. And the sheer variety of living things even on a simple green meadow. Sadly, we then stumbled onto the carcass of a deer that had been torn apart by wolves. It must have suffered enormously, and thinking about that made me feel truly terrible. There's so much pain in nature.
Ecosystem engineers. Cutting down swaths of trees for their building projects, thoughtlessly causing radical changes to large environments and forcing local species to adapt to their artificial habitats. These are the traits of a species of intelligent, industrious, and extremely impactful ecosystem engineers. Humans? No, I'm talking about beavers. I was about to say that could go multiple ways. Like us, beavers transform their environments via building, and their actions have real consequences, creating vast wetlands that some species thrive in while others die. Human activity is very similar. We too are ecosystem engineers, and we too benefit some species while harming others. Everything about this is completely natural, including the damage to other species. After all, that's what competition and evolution is all about. Those species that adapt to the ecosystems we create will, over the coming millennia, become the core of a new biodiversity. And so evolution runs its course. If we don't like the result, if we think some species should be preserved despite being outcompeted, well, that's anything but natural. It is, however, very human. Miranda says, it's fascinating how so much of what we do is common in animals, but furthered enormously by our intelligence and our ability to remember. Through us, the universe strives to a greater level of complexity. But does the universe have the capacity to strive for anything? We must be careful to avoid projecting human values onto the cosmos. This passage kind of rubs me the wrong way. I mean, in some sense it's true, but we also live in a context of global human-caused climate change. And this kind of feels like an argument that, oh, that's not even a bad thing, when there are objective metrics for why climate change is a bad thing. For one, we're not just making species go extinct, we are losing biodiversity. For two, we are losing land and resources that can be used to grow food. And there's a million other arguments along those exact same lines. Now, some arguments are if someone argues that just because we're changing the climate and species are going extinct, that's bad, then I don't take that as too serious an argument. But I do take the argument that there is nothing bad about climate change. To be fair, this did not argue there's nothing bad about climate change. But anyone who argues there is nothing bad about climate change is just wrong. There and Back Again, A Hobbit's Tale by Bilbo Baggins. Another symbol on the wall. These are totally going to be for something. Okay, an inverter. Maybe now we'll get to see what happens when we put green in it. We get a blue one and a blue receptacle, it's not going to work. Here's a red though. We can't reach it though. This is okay. There is a red and a blue. I'm gonna have to put this out here so that I can actually avoid. Oh. No, never mind. Let's do it like this. All right. Now we can use this connector. We can connect blue to here. No, we can't because, oh yeah, we can. Wait. No, we don't want to connect it there. We want to connect it here. Oh, but it turns off. Okay. What if we do this again? Then we move this to the other side. And then we take this one. Alright, that's better. Can this? Yeah, now it can see. Wait, okay, will this interfere with the other one? We're fine. We're fine. Okay, now we have all the things, and we probably just connect here and here. Oh, that wasn't the end. Now we have now we have a converter. Okay, we need a red and a blue to connect to here, which should be pretty easy if we just take this back. Well, let's look in here to make sure there's nothing else to do. Is this a ladder? There's an X here. Oh my goodness. Meta puzzle stuff. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just seeing symbols everywhere because I'm looking for them. Alright. Here we are. And we combine red. No. I want to experiment first. So where's the blue one? It's out there. Alright. I want to open this. I can't open it with that. How do I do this? I can open it through here. All right. All right, so we got a blue and we got a red. No. We don't have a blue. Not unless we go out here. I can't even remember what I'm doing. I know what I'm trying to do. Let's open that. We got a blue. And then the red will come from here. Here we are. Blue and red. And that's a green. Now, what happens if we connect this? It doesn't like it. It does nothing. Okay. I just had to see. I just had to see. Alright. So this thing is easy. Connect to you, into here, into here. And I missed something. It's fine. Why is this space over here? Just, I guess, because they didn't put puzzle there? We got another puzzle.